Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building. I wanted to make a quick short video. I was going to go live, but I got some other things to do, so I pre-recorded this, but I should make sure to pay attention to this video because it's still a good video. It's still a good video. And I was going to do it on defensive tackles. Then I heard Dalton Schultz. And I thought it was interesting because I've been hearing it all on Twitter. I just happened to come home, see it on Twitter, all like, oh, Dalton Schultz said this, Dalton Schultz said this, don't like Dalton. People you ain't heard Dalton Schultz say. So I'm like, I'm curious. Let me hear what Dalton Schultz had to say. So I listened to a little bit at first before I played it. I'm not surprised. It's not like I'm like, ooh, damn near every Cowboys player that leave from the organization say the same damn thing. I don't sit there and even think that they're like dissing the organization because that's not what I hear. Like, I'm going to play this Dalton Schultz. I'm going to play this quick Cheeto that Jay Tuck interviewed Cheeto. I think this was right before the Super Bowl they played in. And then you saw what Cole Beasley said. Other players have said it too. So this isn't the first time. So this ain't nothing new. But it was just interesting to hear what they say. Then you'll probably say to yourself, why they always say it when they leave. Because you can't talk in Dallas. I've been saying that on my videos the last maybe 8, 10, 12 videos ago. I said, you know, when you're like rambunctious, when you're outspoken, that voice gets quelched in Dallas, in my opinion. Whatever you were before you came to Dallas, if you were that rambunctious guy that really just did made all this noise. T.O.'s an example. He came in. We know what happened with him at Philadelphia. Came over here making noise. And it only lasts for so long. They weren't going to hear that no more. Dez. Anybody really make a lot of noise. I'll never forget when Chris Richard got into it with those coaches. Dallas won that game, but I felt that was the beginning of the end because Stephen Jones made a comment about that. They're never going to let that brand ever be disrespected. That brand is more important than anything else. And that's already been a known factor. Like, so when we see, and I'm going to play this right quick, when we see these, to me, these are the little things, in my opinion, of why Dallas fails. These little things. So let's do this what he's got to say right quick. If you haven't heard it, let's play it right quick. See what Dalton Schultz had to say.
You don't have to out anything, but like, what are you?
No, dude, it's just like there's people literally going on tours while you're lifting in the weight room, and they've got like a one-way mirror for people to like look at. Like, it's a zoo, dude. Like, there's people tapping on the glass, like trying to get people's attention as they're doing, power cleans or whatnot. And it's different. And I mean, that's the brand that they've built. That's what Jerry Jones likes. That's the way they run things. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you don't realize like how many, eyeballs and how much that can maybe, distract from, stuff just in the locker room, being in the facility, until you go somewhere else and you're like, holy crap, like, dude, there's none of that. Like, this is, also a really well-run organization in Houston. And I think that was one of the things that kind of scared me about like leaving Dallas the most, is like, I wasn't sure what another organization would kind of feel like. And dude, I got here and it was like, this place is a well-oiled machine. Like, it's, coaching staff, the coaching changes. I can't speak to the previous stuff, but like, the strength staff is phenomenal. The training staff is unbelievable. This has been the most like trainers that I've ever seen on a staff, and they take really amazing care of the players. The nutrition staff is phenomenal.
Okay. We're going let me get Tuck stuff up here with Cheeto right quick as well. All right, so and then I'm gonna get to Cheetos, and this if you haven't heard what talk to Cheeto, and I'm out here in Ohio, and I remember how Cincinnati was trash with Paul Brown. So whatever you're hearing about Cheeto is not the old staff or the old stuff because it used to be bad, and every player used to complain about Cincinnati. But Mike Brown made changes. He backed up. He got out the way, and he let some people make those moves instead of him being the control freak. Because him and Jerry Jones were the only control freak guys, like the only one control everything within the organization. He finally took a step back. I think he let his daughter-in-law, I don't know, take over, and she stepped back, made moves, and boom, they got in the Super Bowl. Now they're pretty much. It looks like they can be a contender like yearly. But let's listen to what Cheeto had to say.
Rise up and go to work, regardless of circumstance, regardless of if it's snowing, if it's raining, blue collar city, blue collar place where people just rise up and go to work, regardless of circumstance, regardless of if it's snowing, if it's raining, people on the street doing stuff, whatever, traffic, you have to get up and go to work. So it's a credit to the scouting department and the front office for sure for bringing all of us here, and definitely making it be seamless. The culture in the locker room was crazy. I've never been on a team like this in the NFL where it feels like college. Like we know each other, that we'll go to bat for each other. So it's just a real beautiful thing to be a part of.
Mm-hmm. And then you remember what Cole Beasley said? He said, I'm over here in Buffalo. It's football. It's football going on over here, right? So, listen, these are my thoughts on it. I'm not surprised. But if you heard what Dalton Schultz said, and even when you heard Cheeto, you never heard Cheeto bash the organization, right? Cole Beasley never really bashed the organization. And even Dalton Schultz. And I think Tuck had an interview with Randy Gregory, and Dalton Schultz, you heard, he didn't bash the organization. He just says it's not all about football. And that's the problem. They leave, and this is the only team they had played for. They leave, go to another team, and they see it's not the show. It's football here. We ain't doing all that extra whatever. We're here to play football, try to win games. And you heard Dalton Schultz too, where he said it could be a distraction. That's what I heard. It could be a distraction, and it is a distraction. The brand is the top thing in the organization. And even though they got players and even though they love football, that brand is more important than anything else. And it seeps into football and it seeps into players. Because I listened to John Machado when he was talking about Dak Prescott signing with the Cowboys. He said, it's not just signing with the Cowboys. You get endorsements. You get a lot comes along with the Dallas Cowboys. And they sell that to a lot of the players and people out there in them streets. So it is a distraction because that's what they sell to players. That's what they sell to everybody. And how can it not be a distraction? How can you not feel kind of entitled? How can you not feel Hollywoodish? How can you not feel it when the organization is pushing that and wanting that? So football is not number one. It's not the number one focus. And since it's not the number one focus, that can get in the way of playoffs. That can get in the way of not working as hard. Maybe you cut a little bit more corners. You know what I mean? Maybe you cut more corners. Maybe you don't go as hard. You're a little more lax because it's not the full focus. And I'm not saying everybody in Dallas with the team is not like that, but you can't sit there and tell me everybody on that team is focused and there's not Hollywood and you don't fall into it. We heard it with CD and Micah, and you heard it. They fall. You're young. You're 21, 22, 23 years old, and you're playing for the Dallas Cowboys and everything that comes with it. You're not going to be distracted. You're not going to feel a sense of entitlement. You're not going to feel that kind of way. Yeah, you got to. I'm not there, but I know you got to feel that if you're playing for that organization. And I feel like the focus is not football all the time. Since the focus is not football all the time, then that's when the falling short happens. And I don't know when that ever changes because we know Jerry Jones pushes that brand. Now, I ain't praying for this man to go or die or anything like that, but eventually he's not going to be here. I wonder how it's going to be then, because I don't feel like it's going to be that hoopla and glitz and glamour. It's going to be a lot more cut and dry. The brand will be pushed, but it's not going to be that. Steven's a totally different person. I've been making videos. He's totally the total opposite of Jerry. He ain't trying to be making friends. He ain't trying to be cool with you. That's what I find. He like a boss. I ain't trying to be cool with you. You here to work and try to get that job done. You don't get it done. I find somebody else can do it at a cheaper rate. You feel me? Like he feel like one of them type of guys. So, we probably should enjoy this little bit of Jerry you got left, because it's about over with. And I don't know where Dallas is going to rise above. Maybe it might be more focused on football. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not going to be a lot of gambling. I know it's not going to be a lot of risk taking. I know that, but I don't know how that brand is going to be pushed. So that's something I'll be looking at in the future. But as of for the right now, Dallas just ain't going to be doing nothing. They're going to be competitive. They're going to win games. They're going to go to the playoffs because they have the talent. They've had talent. But it's those little tiny things that you see when you see these other players leave and go organizations. When you see the Texans, who were, what was the record? 2-14 and 1? Was it 2-15? They got C.J. Stroud and a new coach, a rookie coach, never coached, been a coach in the NFL, a rookie quarterback. And you go to the playoffs in 1 year. And you know why? Focus. Dalton Schultz probably goes over there and has the best year, feels the best playing in his life because it's focus of football. We're here to play football, win games. And the training staff, you heard the training staff is not the best with the Cowboys. They were like ranked 30th or something like that in the league. I showed the report on my Twitter page. But I think that's what it is. When you see Cheeto, he left the Cowboys, went to the Bengals, they went to the Super Bowl. Focus. We're focusing on football. It's about football here. Buffalo, they went going to playoffs, and Cole Beasley was balling. Focus. Playoffs. We're focusing on football here. It's not a Hollywood. It's not the Hollywood show here. It's about football. And when you do that with any kind of job or any profession where you're solely focusing on the job at hand and there ain't no distraction with it, you're going to be great, especially if you got the talent with it. But if you got the talent with it, but you got that distraction, people coming in, kicking in, it's cool, you lags, whatever. Yeah, y'all talented to get the job done, but y'all still lags, y'all cut the corners. So when that real fire comes upon you, yeah, your talent will shine, but you're going to get beat and lose something that you didn't win, supposed to win, because you weren't focused. And that's what happens with Dallas. They don't focus. They need to have that focus factor. They had them pills out there called focus factor. I used to want to give my son them focus factor pills, but that's what it is. And you, like I said, you could be at a job and have the most talented workers at the job, but if they ain't focusing, they just be chilling and laxing. And then when it really comes, for them to really get meet a deadline, yeah, that talent will come out, and you can do it. But if you really been focusing and been cutting the corners and really being distracted, it doesn't come out on time. It doesn't come out as good, or it doesn't. The product doesn't come out as good as it could be if you was focused, because you already got that talent. Dallas ain't never been short of talent. It's been short of focus. And as long as that brand is number one, which it is, it's just going to be a lot of disheartenness, a lot of, they're going to win, but it ain't, because other teams are more focused to beat you. They want to beat you. They're while you are Cowboys, we're about to whoop your ass. That's what teams feel about you. They don't want you to win. They're tired of hearing that stuff, and they don't like you because the hate's always been there. It's like Dallas don't understand it, and that's why they always fail it. But I just thought I'd throw that out there for these quick video. We're gonna be having a video tomorrow on receivers. That's gonna be huge because that draft. I'm also gonna be talking about defensive tackles because I think the defensive tackle position, Dallas Cowboys can get some guys. Maybe we'll go live on that one, and we'll just pull up some defensive tackles I think could be affordable for the Cowboys because I know they ain't gonna spend no money. So I'll throw out some names out there. We'll jump into it and check it out. This is my thoughts on the Cowboys focus factor.